Gene Roddenberry believed unjust treatment and biases towards women and minorities, especially those displayed in television, were immoral and highly influential on society. He decided to take a stand against the falsely depicted society through his 1966 show Star Trek by having a racially diverse cast, abolishing established stereotypes of the time, and showcasing an ideal society in which all races peacefully coexisted, ultimately reshaping society's perceptions of minorities and women. His ideas and values were carried on in spin-off series, comic books, and movie adaptations. This transformation of the minorities archetype led to the election of the United States' first black president in 2008.
Gene Roddenberry, where no man has gone before.
It does. In 11 years, in every southern state, the segregation laws we are fighting for today were written, every one of them, by the Ku Klux Klan, which saved the South.
In the 50s, African Americans were inappropriately stereotyped in film, animations, and campaigns. Women were especially stereotyped and were illustrated as people who did not need an education. They typically managed cooking, cleaning, and other household chores. Television shows from the 50s, such as Gunsmoke and Father Knows Best, showcased white men as superior in society.
You're a girl, and a girl has the obligation of being one. Woman's place is in the home, not knocking around with a trance and a couple of chainmen. The plan of life was worked out long ago. The male has his job, and the female has hers. Don't confuse them.
Very few shows had minority characters. However, when they did, they weren't portrayed in a positive light, such as ditzy females in I Love Lucy, and the stereotypical foolish African Americans in shows like Amos and Andy.
Because I have a dream. That's the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
The 60s was a time of the pursuit of equal rights and the search for peace. African Americans wanted social freedom, the banning of segregation, and equal opportunities. This resulted in the Civil Rights Movement. Women also tried to overcome major barriers, such as equal pay for equal work.
In the 1960s, everybody in America had a certain mindset of a woman's place in the home. I remember my dad being a little bit opposed, my mom even being an instructional aide at the local elementary school. The woman ran things. They ran the budget, they did the shopping, they took care of the kids, and the man brought home the paycheck.
Although our country took 2 steps forward with these movements, the media continued to slander feminist and civil rights ideology, using the media as a source of persuasion and aggression against these movements.
But one man took a stand against the established norms of society. He believed that diversity was a wonderful thing, stating that the glory of creation is in its infinite diversity. This man was Gene Roddenberry. He created Star Trek in 1966, which illustrated many of his deeply held beliefs about racism, sexism, and equality.
If there is one ideal that the Federation holds most dear, it is that all men, all races can be united.
In the show, he depicted a utopian society where everyone was equal regardless of race, class, and gender. The cast consisted of African Americans, women, Asians, and Caucasians that all had leading and equal roles. Roddenberry stood against the beliefs that many media outlets tried to reinforce upon the people, creating a change which for that time was incredible.
Along with including a diverse cast, Roddenberry also steered away from displaying racial stereotypes in Star Trek. Unlike most people in the 60s, Roddenberry didn't think that people should be categorized into social groups. He felt that this negatively affected social groups and that individuality was needed for humanity to move forward. Roddenberry stated that, if man is to survive, he will have learned to take a delight in the essential differences between men and between cultures. He will learn that differences in ideas and attitudes are delight, part of life's exciting variety, not something to fear. We see examples of this in Star Trek numerous times, such as when 2 characters of different races share a kiss, which is seen as immoral in the 70s, simply because they were different.
The night Captain Kirk kissed Lieutenant Uhura, Right? My aunts and my mom and my cousins were all in the other room in the kitchen, and they were having coffee, and I ran in and I said, Mom, I said, Captain Kirk kissed the black lady. Silence and dishes dropping, teacups dropping, and they all ran into the living room. I'd never seen a bunch of adults run to a Star Trek show before. I was wondering, what did I just say?
Other shows attempted to display diversity, but none had an influence as great as Star Trek. Some of these shows included I Love Lucy and certain episodes of The Twilight Zone.
There are weapons that are simply thoughts, attitudes, prejudices, to be found only in the minds of men. For the record, prejudices can kill, and suspicion can destroy. These things cannot be confined to the Twilight Zone.
Star Trek went against the social norms of the time and gained much attention for its diversity. Other shows took inspiration from Star Trek, and with the new media revolution, the world was beginning to change. After Star Trek ended, people were more tolerant of other cultures and races, as well as strong female leads. This reached the news in 1978 with the casting of the first black news anchor, Max Robinson. In the 1980s, Oprah Winfrey launched her influential talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show. As her viewership grew, women were no longer stereotyped as delicate housewives, but instead as independent, free-thinking individuals. Oprah grew into a nominated actress, gaining much success and power in the process. She launched Harpo Studios in 1990, which helped with the casting of minorities in lead roles. In turn, broke many held stereotypes toward minorities, giving them more work and social advantages. As a result of the media breaking down these stereotypes, society was open to electing their first African American president. This was after the influence of Star Trek, which called for change through television and society.
Some people, however, don't believe the media has many major impacts on society. Tom Meltzer, an advanced preparation author for the Princeton Review Firm, states, "The media does not greatly impact public opinion," thus arguing that Star Trek could have never made a lasting impact on society. Nonetheless, television is one of the largest media platforms in the world and the most impactful. Media is largely responsible for influencing the minds of people with false notations and prejudice.
TV shows depicting prejudice, it harms society because it makes it appear normal. So once it appears as the norm, then for people who, maybe if I never really interacted with someone that was Hispanic or Asian, and all I know is what I've seen on TV, then it makes that real. That's normal. So then now when I meet someone in that group, I'm going to treat them accordingly because the only knowledge I have is, might be what I've seen on television, which says this is how this group of people are.
Roddenberry's television program shattered the sexist and racist stereotypes displayed on television shows during the time Star Trek was created, thus paving the way for future shows to follow. He managed to spark a kind of entertainment where minorities and women were treated with the same dignity and respect as their white male counterparts. His revolutionary stance led into other networks and programming, leading to more diverse entertainment, such as The Jeffersons and The Mary Tyler Moore Show, allowing the media to transition from being filled with negative and harmful stereotypes to a less biased and more progressive television landscape. His legacy still lives on, with millions watching adaptations of his work and taking inspiration with the messages he tried to convey. Our current worldview shows us that society truly functions better when all of our differences are embraced and accepted.